What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is right here, and we're back with another voiceover race rewind. So we started P9 this race, wasn't able to get a qualifying lap together, kind of as usual. We're up a few positions already. It looks like we're up the inside of P6, but we're in P5. We kind of get to hold a position because you can't really go around the outside in that corner because of the way the circuit is set up. So we kind of give position up to this guy because we see he's still trying to fight it. We really don't want to die. And there's more up ahead than just this first lap. So someone spins, we're still in 5th. So another person spins. This guy loses out, ends up going off track. We see it earlier. He loses out again. So now we are in P3. So within the span of, I think these corners are corner 7A, B, C, or whatever the hell, but not even half a lap, we're up to P3. So all we kind of got to do is keep it together and bring it home safe, right? Easier said than done, always, as you know, in iRacing, as there is, you know, there's mistakes that I can make, there's mistakes other people can make that I really can lose out on, like the guy in front of us earlier. So our goal is really just to kind of keep it clean. We're braking super early because the first lap brakes are still cold, as you can hear them squeaking. So we're coming around the final corner on the first lap, and we're in P3. We're in the toe of P2, so we're gonna tuck up firmly into the slipstream and just get as close as possible and try to follow and just make sure that we just try to apply pressure and not, you know, kill ourselves trying to get this position. So now on to lap 2. We're coming into turn 1. We're letting off because we don't want to gain too much under braking. This first corner, I still have yet to kind of figure out how to take it. As you can see, it is a difficult corner as the guy in front of us does go wide, and we are currently side by side with him, leaving him enough room. Actually, we ended up getting position because he lifted for us. So coming in to the range, I think this is turn 7 section. We're trying to catch up to the car in first place, tuck up into his toe, run away from the cars behind, and then try and get a move done towards the latter half of the race. So we're pushing, we're trying to catch this guy coming around this uphill corner. I do love this VIR circuit in these cars. It's really fun and really enjoyable. It's really technical in some portions, and just it's really fun. I do love this circuit, to be honest. The hills and the undulations, honestly, just phenomenal. And I hope to drive here this summer in real life in my car. If I do, you guys will be seeing a video. Best believe I wouldn't do you guys like that. So we're coming around to the last corner again. I think at this point, like 1.2 seconds off. As usual, we push a little too hard, and we end up going wide. There goes P3. There goes P4. We keep it alive, so we're currently in P5. Again, we're rejoining in P5 after that mistake that we made coming around to the front straight. So we're gonna skip ahead 1 lap because it was kind of just a lap of kind of gaining the progress that we had kind of very kindly threw away. As you see, we push hard again, we go wide, just kind of throwing away progress. It's kind of a signature move of mine. I'll gain a second, sometimes even more. And even in the lap, I kind of like put my head down and focus up. And then I don't know what it is, but I don't know if I break concentration or what, or I just end up, I have a really bad habit of throwing away time that I gain for whatever reason. I don't know why. It happens in almost all my races. I'm like the king of just undoing all the progress that we're doing. As you can see, we're coming around into a corkscrew-esque corner, like the corkscrew on Laguna Seca. We're coming around to the final corner once again. I believe this is lap 4 now. Make sure we don't go wide. The thing is that you want to push because you don't want to like lose time. Because if you don't take that corner right, then your momentum is fucked when you're coming up the front straight. So we're trying to push, and that's what ultimately ended up costing us on lap 2, is that we just tried to gain too much during the corner, and we weren't very respectful to the fact that you know, you really have to be careful around that corner, because if not, it's very easy to go wide. As you can see, we go wide again around turn 1, kind of going back to what I was saying before, that this first corner has been kind of the bane of my existence. Just trying to get the, you know, the brake turn in and just everything done right has proved difficult to me. My fastest lap around this circuit, I believe, is a 1:43.2, which isn't terrible. You guys know I love my track guides. Based on the track guides I'm using for this circuit, which is the Gorilla track guide, shout out to him. Great dude, great driver, and he makes phenomenal track guides that I always watch him every Sunday or Monday whenever he uploads them, right before the new week starts. I'm about 9/10 off, I want to say. His guide is at 42.1 and I'm doing a 43.2, so actually, yeah, about 1.1 seconds, which isn't terrible. Obviously, he's a higher caliber driver. His probably has way more experience under his belt, and you know, I only use that to compare. You know, I like to compare telemetry, you know, apex minimum speeds and things like that, and just kind of the way that faster drivers drive is the way you drive. Is the way you learn to drive, is watching faster players, and that's always something that I've always been big into. Even just in regular sports or just life in general, watching people who are more experienced do something will help you, because the way you, especially if you go into it analytically, you can learn a lot by watching other people. You know, there's a lot of times where, even during my own races, where I'll look down at my brake trace or how I got on throttle or my apex speed, and I'll notice that, you know, I did something differently than even a lot before, or just kind of what I'm used to, or my baseline lap. As you can see, we are catching slowly but surely as I go on my tangent on how I try to improve. I recently did get my D license. I almost got it in this race, as I was at 2.8 when this started, 2.85 I believe, and then I finished after this race. I was at 2.97, so I almost have my D license. This is still a rookie race, but we're pushing through and we're learning. We're trying every single day to at least put some laps up and get some practice in, so that we can become better drivers, so we can do this for the rest of our lives, hopefully. So I think the gap is down to about 1 second now. As you can see, this car is pretty close up ahead. So we're coming around to the final corner. As you can see, there's some smoke up ahead, and that means that the leader and second place have gotten into an accident. As you can see, they're rejoining. So now we just went from P4 to P1 or P2, excuse me, in one corner. I was actually telling myself, I was going through this final sector, I was like, these guys are extremely close to each other. I believe the delta was, they were like a 10th behind each other, so second place was right behind his gear, literally right on P1's gearbox. So we put our heads down, and we're trying to catch the car in front now, because now this is a victory that we're fighting for instead of a podium. So this is the final lap, and the gap at the start of the lap is about 1.8 seconds. So we're going to try to do everything in our power to close that gap. As you can see, we're gaining in pretty much every corner. Just kind of being smooth on the steering, being, you know, decisive on the brakes, making sure that we put our foot down hard enough to not lock the brakes, but hard enough where we slow the car and we can come off and make every corner. As you can see, we're within a second now. Coming around this corner, the gap was already down to 0.8 seconds, so in half a lap we were able to gain 1 second, and I know this guy can tell that I'm coming, and I'm coming hard. No pun intended. But we're coming in to the final sector here. He has a little wiggle, I have a little wiggle as well, and kind of, again, just pulling a signature Roger move. We're kind of just throwing away all the progress that we've made. I don't think that he noticed that, because as you can see, coming around the final corner, he's pushing too hard and becomes a victim to the same mistake that I made, pushing too hard at the end of the lap. He wanted the victory and lost it all at the end. And we are coming around the front straight for the final time. As you can see there, guys waving the checkered flag, because we just won from 9th on the grid, and that was a last lap victory. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.